And Kyrene, I had written this disco, I had replayed this, I had done this track, which was like disco replayed. I had just put the bass line down and I had put the chords down, the piano down, created my own horn section and everything, and did some like disco type of percussions, and I had done this like salsa sounding disco track. And one of the vocalists, Falconer Abrams, said, I know a vocalist who would sound really good on top of this track. And I had no idea who this person was. And this woman, Arlene Duncan, comes in. Little woman, Arlene Duncan, comes in and goes into the vocal booth. And the track plays and hit record, and we're like, okay, just give us your like diva type of thing. You know, just your, you know, just go out on it. And this woman started belting out these lyrics and these notes, and me and my partner turned around and looked at each other and was like, I've never heard anyone in the city sound like this. I've never heard a vocalist like this. Just overnight, the sound of the label changed because this voice was like so amazing. And how that version, the popular version, came about, and the video was, okay, we need to do something that sounds more today, more kind of like what like Robin S was big at the time, more like that, you know, the organ kind of sound and whatever, and the sparse instrumentation. So I had done a mix in like 20 minutes with those vocals. It was so inspiring. I had done this mix in 20 minutes. We sent it. It got a mention in Larry Flick's. I think Larry Flick was still there. Dance tracks on Billboard. We got a couple of write-ups. It ended up, we serviced it to the pool, and it ended up charting till it got to number like 10 nationally. And then Quality Records picked up the record and picked up the whole label. And then just stuff started happening from do the video. Did the video in one night at Whiskey Saigon. A bit of airplay on Extend the Mix and, you know, the odd dance show. So that's one really crazy milestone that I could say that I'm really proud of. And from then on, it was just nuts. We were releasing compilations and stuff like that, and then that's what led into my doing more of my own stuff. Just go on my own and work with some other people. Did some stuff for some major labels. A lot of stuff that didn't get released, right? Some major label remixes for like TLC and Jack Soul, and some remixes for people like DeLacy on Easy Street, and there was just that whole 3 years was like a blur. We were just busy doing all kinds of stuff, and I was doing it with members of the record pool. So we were doing it as a hooked up with Sasha Williamson after years of saying, yeah, we got to do something, we got to do something, we got to do something. And we came up with a couple of tracks. She liked them, and she wrote some lyrics to a couple of tracks that I did. One I licensed to Shelter, which that was a really cool experience. An outlet for me to release my own music, as well as some friends. So. And yeah, I've always wanted to run a label by myself, so that's pretty much why I'm doing it. By Lifetime came out 20 years, 2 months ago. I remember that. I remember seeing it in the record store and saying, wow, okay, there's a big thrill. And then I remember hearing I Need a Man, 4 years later, on Energy 108 out of somebody's car, and that was even a bigger thrill. And then I just remember hearing it every hour on the hour, and that was an even bigger thrill. And then I remember seeing it on a chart, a national chart. I remember watching Electric Circus and seeing it, you know, number 10, number 9, whatever, and that was a big thrill. So it was really cool. Canadian stuff that was just going big at that time. So I wouldn't say that we paved, well, maybe we paved the way, but still, there were a lot of people doing things at the same time. Ron Allen Strobe, Nick Holder came out at around the same time. There was only three of us at the time. On the Move Records, Strobe, and High Bias. And Big Shot was kind of dying at the time. They were probably the only ones at the time doing stuff. You know, and then, yeah, we paved the way for a lot of other labels that came out, you know, a few years later. 83 West, Crash came out afterwards. I know I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting a couple of others. Please, 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 let there be house. Forever.